grab your fam and grab some fabric because it's time for family art making. What's up, Ringling fam? It's Kallie, and today it's finally April, and that means that we have a new theme this month. So last month we learned all about the rose garden at the Ringling, so you can check out those videos. I'll put the link in the description. But this month's theme is painting plus. We'll be learning how to use paint in new ways that maybe we've never thought of before. None of that traditional boring stuff. Ugh. Everything we make this month is going to be based on our new exhibition of Sam Gilliam's work. Sam Gilliam is one of the most important abstract artists working today, and he's known for experimenting with color and materials in his artwork, and we'll be doing the same. Before we jump into Gilliam's work, it's important that we understand what exactly abstract art is, so let me explain that real quick. Abstract means that it doesn't look exactly like real life. Sometimes the abstract objects will represent something like this green line is meant to be a tree, but sometimes it just represents the feeling of an object or even an event. For example, these colors and shapes are meant to represent my happy feelings about my birthday. So now that we've got that out of the way, let's learn about the cool experimental type of artwork that Sam Gilliam does. In the late 1960s, Gilliam started making what are known as his drape paintings. Usually when you see a painting, it's on a canvas like this one. This canvas has been stretched, meaning it's been put on a wooden frame, and the canvas or the fabric that you're painting on is usually stapled to the back of the wooden frame and it's pulled really tight. Gilliam, however, leaves his canvases unstretched, and they look like this. Some of his drape paintings are as large as 150 feet long. They become almost like sculptures as well as paintings. These two that we have in our exhibition are called What Fish See 1 and 2. And they're especially neat because since they're unstretched, they never hang the same way twice. So if you see these paintings in another museum, they might hang a little different and therefore look a little different. After a closer look, you'll notice that these two also have a quilt-like quality. There are different patches of smaller canvases that form one big painted collage. Did you hear that? Quilt-like patches? If you got an art kit, you have a little quilt square in your kit, and we'll be using those today and hanging them up to create our own drape paintings just like Sam Gilliam's. The supplies for this project is very simple. All you need is paint, some paintbrushes, and then some form of fabric. So maybe you have a fabric square, maybe you want to cut up an old t-shirt you don't wear anymore. If you got an art kit, you can use the little quilt squares that were given to you in those. And if you have a bunch of quilt squares, maybe you and your siblings or you and your friends all got art kits, you can put them together to create one large collage just like Sam Gilliam's. If you want yours to be like Sam Gilliam's, you can paint something abstract on yours. Maybe you just want to splash it with different colors. Maybe you want to have a pattern. Maybe you do want to paint something realistic that you can tell what it is. Whatever you want to paint, it's up to you. But we're going to be using this fabric as our unstretched canvas. I decided to go abstract with mine and pick some colors that help describe how I've been feeling lately. I decided I could use this as a way to get those feelings out and onto a piece of fabric. And that's what abstract artists do. Sometimes they want to capture how they're feeling in a specific moment, maybe when something happened to them or even when they just see a beautiful sunset. Sometimes they also want to capture the feeling of being somewhere or doing something with the colors and the shapes that they use. It's up to you if you want to do something like that or if you'd rather just paint something more realistic. The most important part of this project is once you've completed painting your fabric, it's time to let it dry and then hang it up. So as you know, I've got my trusty bulletin boards that are always behind me, and I've hung up my drape painting using 2 little clothespins on a string. That's a good idea. You could also use little push pins. You could just tape it on your wall. You could poke a hole and tie it up with string, whatever you want to do. So I've got it here, as you can see. It's going to be hanging up there for a while. And I encourage you to give your drape painting a name. Maybe think about, what did you paint? What did it mean? So I think I'm going to name mine Burst, because it's bursting with colors. I did a lot of big whoosh strokes like a firework, and also it was a way so I wouldn't burst with emotions. I decided to paint them instead. So that's what I'm gonna name mine. I would love to know how yours turned out. I'd love to see how you decided to hang it and what you decided to name it. So please send us a picture of you and your artwork at the Ringling Facebook page, the Family Programs Facebook page, or send us an email at education@ringling.org. Also, fun news, later on this year, we are going to be doing another community gallery exhibition. So definitely save all the work that you make this month and any month that you've made art with us, either here or at Roar or any other activities that you might have done with the Ringling. We haven't announced the theme yet, but that's okay. Go ahead and save it all up anyway. And that's all that I have for you this week. I'll be back next Saturday with another video where we'll look at a different painting by Sam Gilliam. How can we use paint in a new way? Something to think about until next week. But I will see you then at the same time and in the same place. Bye!